Hi all, welcome back. I've started by cutting out a little bench that I wanted to put under the window seat, and I've just started gluing it all together. Here I've got the top piece which I'll glue on now. When this is done, I'm just going to set this aside and it'll be ready for painting. And I'm not going to make the seat cover yet because I want to do that when I do all the soft furnishings. Okay, moving on to the bookshelves. I've just about started cutting out the basic shapes, and I'm going to make one of my bookshelves into a corner shelf. Okay, so I'm starting to build my little corner shelf for the upstairs room, and so far I've got the back unit there, and this is the corner side, so that will go that way on there. So you've got this top piece which I've stuck down to make the L shape. I've also cut out this base unit which will go inside this bit here, and it will just be an extra support for the doors that I'm going to be putting on the bottom, and it's just hold everything together so it'll be a bit more sturdy. That's one of the shelves. No, what's that one? Yeah, that's one of the shelves. Probably on top of the cupboards actually, I think that one is, so I'm going to keep that one separate. So that'll sit on top of these cupboards. And then I've got 2 shelves that will go inside, and I've got 3 doors. I've also just added a little panel there for the corner unit to sort of join onto. I'm going to put it all together by gluing it, and I'll show you how it looks in just a sec. So I've started piecing it all together, and you can kind of see what I meant. I'm going to put the doors onto the front, so that one's going to go in there. That one. And that one. Cool. So it will look a little bit better like that. You can see how the unit will look like that, and then obviously I'll have a little thing on top which will act as a sideboard. I've got a feeling, since I've glued it together, I might need to trim it because it seems to me that I've cut this longer part a bit tight, so it's only slight, but I'm going to have to adjust that, maybe just trim it off on the end there, but you kind of get the idea. It'll cover it all up anyway. It'll cover up the beams at the back there. And yeah, so just gluing it all together now. So I finally managed to make this corner cupboard. It was an absolute annoyance, but I managed it in the end. Getting the corners and everything right was a bit of a pain, but I got there. So yeah, it's now sort of ready to paint. Also made this little mini shelving unit here. which will go on the back shelf there. And it's going to be glued on like that. The corner unit will go on this side of the wall, which is why I didn't do all that bit, and also along there as well, so it'd be like a little corner shelving unit as well. Both bookshelves have been painted, and now it's time to decorate the bookshelves with some books and bits and pieces. So I've started to add a few books to the bookshelf. Obviously they're not real books. I wish they were, but they would have taken me absolutely ages to make. So I've just been cutting out random pieces of cardboard and paper and some washi tape, and I've just been making mini little books. So here's an example. I've got this little sort of piece of paper which I've cut into a rectangle, and I've just used the edge of this board here to create the book part, the spine, by folding it around to give it a neat edge, so it's like a nice sharp edge. And then I've just taken some ordinary cardboard like this and doubled it like that, and that's going to get sandwiched with some glue like that, and that will create a nice little book once I've glued it, and that will go onto that one of the shelves here. I'm still in the middle of making lots of books, and you know, I've cut out you'll find this funny, but I found random words in packaging which I have stuck onto the edge of some of the spines of the books, just to give it a little bit more interest and to make it look like, you know, that there's more to it than just spineless, wordless books. So this is obviously very close up, so you can see that they are just little random words, but when you see it from a slight distance, then it won't look as obvious. So yeah, so that's how I'm making my books. Just taking my time with that. And then I've also got this little chap here which I've made. I had some stickers, some nice little stickers, and I've just cut it out and put it onto a piece of white card, and then I've just used brown backed paper and a bit of acetate on top, just glued down so it looks like a little photo frame. I'm going to put that into my frame, into my I'm going to put that into my shelf just to add a bit of interest. And then I've got some beads over here, so you'll see some random beads which I thought they were quite pretty, and they look a bit like do look like little vases or vases depending on where you're from, and they will just sit nicely once I've glued them. They will look a bit more like a little vase on the shelf. So we've got a couple of little mini ones there which make it look a bit nicer. Okay, and I've also got this little you'll notice this little, this is actually an acorn, the end of an acorn. I've just sanded down slightly at the base so it looks like a bowl, and that will go on the shelf too. Perhaps okay, something like that. And it is just a matter of having a little play with it just to see how it all fits together. I've glued some of the books together because I don't want to be faffing around trying to organise them, but I do need to still work out how I'm having the whole shape as well. So there's that, and then I've also got this bead here. Where are we? And I just thought this looked like a nice little vase, so I'm going to put this one on the shelf as well. Put the shelf there for the moment. Okay, so it's starting to look a little bit more like a shelving unit now with little bits and pieces on it. And also, I just wanted to show you, I made these little bits and pieces out of polymer clay, which will go on the shelves once they're painted. I know they look really awful close up, especially the face of that, but when it's not so close, it doesn't look too bad, and that's like a little pot. So perhaps I'll pop that on there once it's painted. And then I've made a couple of bookends here. It's probably easy to lift it like that. Bookend in there, and another one in there. Okay, so again, they'll need painting. I've got this, looks like a coffee bean made. It'll go there once it's painted again. Mini coffee bean, I'll just leave a little gap for that one. And then my little statue thing will go up there. And she'll be painted as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting that. And then finally, the other thing I've just made now is a tiny little box, which I thought would be really sweet. And I'm not sure what I'm going to put in it yet, but that's going to go at the bottom here, and I'm going to leave it slightly open once I've decided what's going in there, just so you can have a little peek. But yeah, still got a few bits to do, and I've still got a lot more books to make to fill it up a little bit more. But yeah, you get the general idea of what I'm doing. So after I've filled it all up and I've put the shelf in situ, so now you can see how it's going to look. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I must admit, it's very time consuming making all the little books, but I have to do it all again now for the corner shelf. Okay, now with the shelves and the books. Lots of books, and I've just got to put some handles on, and that should hopefully be finished. For one of my beads that I'm going to use as a little vase, I thought I would put a plant in it, and I had these sort of paper flowers that have a wire around them. But they are absolutely massive, they're way too big. So what I just decided to do was take one of them off, like that, just sort of snip it with my wire cutters. And I've actually pulled off all of the petals. It was a shame to ruin it, but it's okay, because I'm now left with this little sort of inner part of the flower. And if I feed that through the bead, it will look like a small bunch of flowers rather than like just the pollen part. And that's about the right size. See? So that now looks more like a small, very small sort of dried flower or something within the pot. So I'm just going to snip it from the bottom and glue it in. I've made these little handles using jewellery findings, and I've just stuck one down to show you how it looks on there, and I'll show you how I made that. I've separated one of those circular ones and I've just pushed the U-shaped one through the little loop, and that creates like a little dangly piece, like a little door pull.
Don't leave me high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.
Yeah.
We've got our completed bookshelves. I haven't glued them down. They're not glued in yet, so they are a little bit away from the wall, like this one's not quite there yet. But I've just put them there so you can see how they are going to look. So you can see my little bookshelves. Zooming out a little bit. And that's how it's going to be. So next time round I'll be making the little desk that's going to go on this little side wall here, and hopefully we're a bit closer to finishing it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.